If you've followed Chicago politics at any point this century, you know the name John Kass. A vivid storyteller, his former Tribune column angered and inspired. He still keeps an eye on the city he fled. Tonight, John Kass gets to the point.
From Chicago's very own, with WGN political editor Tahman Bradley, this is The Point.
Good evening. Whether you agree with them or not, Chicago has been blessed with a handful of opinion writers whose blunt observations about politics entertained and enraged the masses. Their words broke through. People read them. For a quarter century, one of them was John Kass. His Chicago Tribune column, the Page 2 spot, added color to the day's news. His takes were conservative, sometimes very conservative. Kass left the Tribune 5 years ago. He also exited Illinois for Indiana, and that's where we caught up with him to let him vent.
That tree, there was a big tree that grew here, and I would do the Chicago Way monologue under that tree, and there was a woodpecker who was beating the hell out of that tree.
John, thanks for having us.
I'm so glad you're here.
I know how much you love politics, which is why I wanted to do this. I love politics too. You are a great explainer of politics. You were always fun to read. You left the Tribune in 2021. We're now immersed in this great tradition of the general election followed by the mayor's race.
Right.
What's the headline?
The headline is Chicago is broke and is circling the drain, and I don't know if there's anyone there running who could help it. That's what worries me. I mean, I love the city, even though I left skid marks and blood on the ground as I left the Tribune. The fact is I love the city, and I love the politics of the city. I used to call it the city of tribes because I love the tribal aspect. And, well, I don't know what's going to happen, what will happen to it. That worries me.
City of gangsters, city of strong leaders, strong organized groups, be it labor or people who are doing nefarious stuff. I'm curious, do you know?
How you doing is the city's motto in that regard. How you doing?
Absolutely. Do you? I wonder, the Chicago Teachers Union.
Oh, yeah.
Very strong.
Muscle, yeah.
Union.
Progressive.
Forged, hardened by the school closures under Rahm Emanuel. I'm curious, do you know Stacey Davis Gates? I think you might like her because...
Well, aren't we neighbors? She lives out in Indiana. I think it's great that she does.
A reference to a past controversy there.
Right? And I... Far be it from me to skip a controversy, you know. I think I want her to be a good neighbor. I have a good neighbor policy with Stacey. I don't know her, but I am a soccer father, and I know that she's a soccer mom and wanted her son to play soccer in Indiana, doesn't
She also was able to get her candidate elected to the 5th floor. I mean, that's remarkable that the teachers union, which advocates for more than just their contract, right? They have political positions. It's all sorts of things. They want more money for children across Chicago.
The bottom line is you can't blame... I am a husband and father to teachers, so I'm not knee-jerking, going after them, but the kids in the city of Chicago have been badly served by the teachers union and its dominance and control of Chicago politics. They can't read or write at grade level. So what is Stacey Davis Gates and her friends? What are they getting kids ready to do? Go on welfare and go to prison? Is that what she's preparing them for?
Well, you're talking about a district that's mostly black and brown students.
That's unfortunate.
What they advocate for are greater resources to help those kids.
I hope so. I hope they get them, but are there resources there? I don't know. This is Illinois. I just feel sorry for the kids and for the parents and for the taxpayers because I worry that the politics is becoming so tightly controlled that there's no debate or little debate about an education policy. And the result is, to me, a fraud.
It does seem that the debate right now is more about money.
Yeah, it's all about money and power.
Do you think Mayor Johnson is as weak as polling shows?
Yes, I do. I think weaker, but does it matter? I mean, the city of Chicago is $1 billion in debt or more. How much?
We'll start with $1 billion deficit. I mean, it has to be
Right.
closed because they have to pass a balanced budget.
Right, whatever that means. But when it's done, you have Chicago police at 22% funded their pensions, and firefighters at 17% funded.
I'm going to do a casino to help with that. Now that's good material. I'd love for you to write about that.
Come on, baby.
On the state,
Okay.
let's talk about Pritzker, but first, Darren Bailey,
Yeah.
second cycle in a row, GOP standard bearer.
Ugh.
Can he win?
No, he can't. And I don't think he's a good candidate. And there's certain drawbacks, okay? Like the accent, all that doesn't work.
Authentic represents the Republican grassroots. Can he win the suburbs? What would he have to do to pick up suburban voters?
The guy who could win the suburbs ran for governor last time and didn't win.
Who's that? You're
Ted
talking about
Dabrowski.
Oh,
Ted Dabrowski was perfect casting to win the suburbs and didn't. And I don't know why he didn't, but it was bad for the state. Now,
isn't that though that Bailey is kind of a Trump candidate? He sort of represents where the Republican grassroots is right now with closeness to Trump.
that's a question. I don't even know if the president is that popular anymore for Darren Bailey to latch onto.
We've had 8 years of J.B. Pritzker. He's running for a third term. Has he been a good governor?
It's really difficult for me to say this. I don't think so.
It's difficult for you to say that. Would you think he'd be a good president?
He'd be as good a president as Rahm Emanuel would be. See, what about that one? I hope you're getting him.
So Rahm is needling his party. He wants them to sort of refocus, get back to the center. That might be something you would write about in the column, right?
I would
because
definitely.
he's talking about education and Democrats kind of getting back to kitchen table
Can I
issues.
slip a plug in? John Kass News this week will have a story about Rahm Emanuel and David Axelrod and Pritzker running for office and taking care of their friends and fighting their enemies. And it should be interesting. I hope you like it. And maybe you could write a rebuttal.
Well, I don't do opinion pieces. I'm curious, media, right?
Yeah,
like
right.
your column. Some people liked it, some people hated it. The role of editorial pages, the opinion
The people
writers,
who hate it.
the people who call the balls and strikes. What do you think is the state of the Chicago media?
It's depressing. I see people like yourself trying to get to the heart of things, get people engaged, and I think they're less engaged than they should be. I mean, you could leave it every story that you do, Tahman, with do you care about this or not? It's your city, your state. Do you care or not? I think the people of Chicago, I've written this before, so I've thought about it. They've been beaten up so badly, so thoroughly, over so long, from the dailies and the machine to the new machine and the Chicago Teachers Union machine and Pritzker and Preckwinkle. You can't forget her because Queen Tony is responsible for a lot that you're seeing, including all the homes that you saw being built as you drove out here. You saw all those homes being built? That's a direct result.
With his opinions tonight. And if you want to read his current editorials, check out johnkassnews.com. Back in 60 seconds. Mayor Brandon Johnson rings in a new school year and takes a swing at state leaders who say they can't give Chicago public schools any more money.
It is well past time that Democrats in this state actually lead with conviction to support working people in the city of Chicago.
Johnson says he hasn't talked to Governor Pritzker yet about the $150 million CPS is relying on to stop mid-year cuts. The governor has questioned where the extra cash for schools would come from after several failed attempts to raise taxes on Illinois' most wealthy. And tonight, a tip of the hat to two major political power brokers sitting down for a secret meeting. As first reported by the New York Times, the man in line to be Speaker if Democrats retake the House in November, Hakeem Jeffries, met with President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. They reportedly discussed a range of issues in this unusual meetup between partisans with very different views. And that is The Point. I'm Tahman Bradley. Micah is back with more news tonight at 9 o'clock. The Forecasters is next on WGN+. Good night.